Hello and welcome back to the Daily Update from the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. I'm Captain Doug Hunter, coming to you today on May the 8th, 2020. I'm going to show you a new piece of equipment that was acquired recently to be utilized in the jail. Those of you that fly frequently are probably very familiar with so-called body scanners, and such is the case. We again recently acquired one of these to be utilized in the jail to prevent inmates from smuggling various forms of contraband into the jail. Now, you're going to hear in just a moment from Captain Richards, who oversees the jail operations, as well as Lieutenant Smucker, who's also part of the jail operations, and they'll explain how this machine works and why it is so necessary. We want to say a big thank you to the Wayne County Commissioners for providing the funding for this machine. Very, very expensive. We're actually one of the last sheriff's offices in the area to acquire one of these, primarily due to the fact that we did not have the space for some of the older units that have been released previously. So recently the jail was reconfigured, or a portion of the jail rather, as well as the fact that the footprint of these machines has reduced significantly over the past few years, and allowing it to be utilized in smaller spaces such as what we have here. So again, we're looking forward to utilizing this machine all day, every day, as inmates are coming into the Wayne County Jail, and its use will undoubtedly increase the safety of not only the inmates, but the staff here at the jail as well. So without further ado, we'll now let you hear from the people on the front lines of the Wayne County Jail, Captain Richards and Lieutenant Smucker.
This is a Tech 84 body scanner, and we needed it because over the years we're getting more and more contraband coming into the facility through body cavities, and which is, we're not able to detect. So for instance, last year we probably had over 100 reports of contraband coming into the facility. We're looking at different types of weapons, things that can be used as weapons. We're looking at drugs, methamphetamines. We're looking at heroin. We're looking at different things like that inmates are able to put into body cavities and be able to get those things into the jail. When a normal pat-down search or even a strip search, we would not be able to see those items. Well, some of the negative outcomes of drugs entering into the facility is, they'll pass those drugs out to other individuals that have been in jail. And somebody that's been in jail for a while will not have the same tolerance level to the drugs. So they might be able to, think that they can take the same amount of drugs that they were able to do when they were not incarcerated. There's a big danger to staff as well, coming into contact with these drugs. If, heroin or something like that, methamphetamines, or, even different types of drugs, be able to get onto the skin. An officer might inhale some of the drug or something of that nature and become into an overdose situation themselves.
When an inmate gets processed into the jail here, we'll do a pre-screen on them, double check if they are pregnant or not. We won't scan pregnant females. And then from that point, they will come back to the machine here. They will stand in front and get their picture taken by the machine, which goes onto their file to verify at a later date if we find contraband and this needs to go to court, that person is the inmate that the scan was taken of. And then they will step onto the machine here and then face forward onto the wall. The machine itself used to have, or other machines used to have, a platform, and some still do, that will put the inmate on and it'll slide through the x-ray. This one here is a stationary machine where the inmate stands on 2 footprints on the ground, faces the wall, and is just stationary while the photo is being taken of them, or the x-ray is being taken of the inmate. Once the scan is complete, there's different levels of contrast. You can invert the image, do a 3D enhanced image, and will really show different materials, whether it's drugs versus metal. Zoom in and just really do a thorough search of that individual. Drugs, metal objects, anything that's not usually in a person will show up very well on the image picture that we're given from the machine. One of the things that we'll also be looking for, different ways that people smuggle drugs into the jail or objects into the jail. They can either swallow them or place them internally, depending on how they do that. We can find objects as small as a small pill that somebody decides to ingest, up to large objects, cell phones that somebody would try and smuggle in. Pretty much anything drug related or contraband related that someone would try and bring into the jail, we'll be able to see on the machine based off of the markings that show up on the x-ray. So on the machine here, you're not particularly able to tell gender based off of the way that the x-ray is done. You can see if somebody has, say, an underwire bra or something similar to that. However, looking at this image here, it's impossible to tell if the individual is male or female outside of looking at the name on here. The genitalia is soft tissue and is not really showing up on the picture itself.